All right, we are here. Reality after show, RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars season 10. We are here ready to rock and roll. Bracket of the champions. Phillip Solomon, your boy from Deal or No Deal Island, season 2, with one of my very best friends and colleagues, Jeff Marx. I'm so excited to jump right in to season 10. Jeff, how are you today?
I'm doing good. You know, what's a summer without a new season of Drag Race upon the horizon, right?
It honestly, it was what? 2 weeks without a season. I felt emotionally empty. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, you know, I felt emotionally empty for about 2 years. So I'm great. I'm diving into this. I'm leaning in and it's going to fill my cup. It's going to runneth over.
He is about to be emotionally fulfilled. Kings, queens, and non-binary royalty. So let's just get it started before we hop right into episode 1 and 2. Quick intro in case you're brand new here. I was just on NBC Deal or No Deal Island season 2. Caused some chaos, some screaming, some yelling, so on and so forth. Look it up if you want to. If not, all good. I am here actually as a reality TV connoisseur, up and coming host, making it work. I have loved Drag Race, seen every season, every All Stars, I've seen every international one that did not need subtitles. I hate reading, but it's fine. And other than that, I am so excited to bring in someone that's really had their hand in a lot of reality TV and casting and editing, and someone that's done some amazing stuff. So, Jeff, can you tell us all about you?
Yes. First of all, I did love watching your show. Since I talked to you last, I went and watched the whole thing. You were the best casting choice of the non-people who had not already been on TV. You know what I mean? Like the new people, you went the furthest, you did the most. Amen. So yeah, my name is Jeffrey Marx. I have worked in casting for about 12 years. My biggest shows that I always make sure to mention is I won an Emmy for Love on the Spectrum, the US version in 2022, and HBO's We're Here. I did the first 2 seasons of that show, which was really great. It had me touring the country, going to different cities, talking to the queer community in them, and kind of, you know, making a one-in-a-lifetime kind of experience for them. So that, I've also worked on a bunch of Buna Murray shows, Road Rules, Real World, The Challenge, etc. I've been kicking around casting for a while. So I also was on a show 100 million years ago that was a one-off, that was like a copycat of Big Brother, called Glass House on ABC, which is where I got my start in all of this crazy industry. But we have a very special guest from one of those shows that I love and admire. And she's been a soul sister of mine from the get-go. When I made sure to introduce myself, she was performing at an event, and she was doing a meet and greet, and I snuck up and I meeted and greeted without the meet and greet ticket. But let's go ahead and bring on our special guest for our first podcast, Eureka. Hello.
Oh my God. Hey, Eureka, you found it. What's the tea? What's up? Come on, after show.
You look beautiful.
Good to see you.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Jeffrey, I've missed you. Obviously, we worked so well together. We're here. You look so good. Phillip, are you into big girls or not?
For you, I could be into whatever you need me to be.
Okay, good. Well, one size fits most.
Cool, great, done. I'm here for it.
Hold on a second. Huh? Hello?
She got
What's the
Domino's on the
tea?
way.
Right? You get rose season.
Who?
Jalen said I can get rose season.
No, I'm using it today. Ro already knows. I'm on a podcast. I literally don't have time for this. I'm sorry. Y'all can wait. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
You're all good.
Handle the business, girl. Handle it.
Right? All right. So just so that before we jump in on this, let's just talk a little bit, because I think as a viewer, I always want to know when people are critiquing Drag Race. And I think what's great about this group specifically is that we look at the show, we look at the franchise from 3 very different points of view. Like, even though I've been on reality TV before, I've never done an experience like this. Eureka, you are an all-star time and time again. Jeff, you look at it from more of a production angle from behind the camera, in addition to being in front of it as well. So I think it's super interesting to get all 3 views here. But I have a loaded question for you both, and I will always start by answering it, because I like to lead by example. What to you makes a good drag queen. I think for me, one of the things that I look for when watching the show is a girl that infuses their own personal story and history in their drag. Like I want to be able to see the look and see, oh, they are they really love Black culture and Black art, or maybe they are an indigenous person, and I can see that influence. Like for me, I want to learn who you are on the runway, and that's really something that I look for.
Okay, so I think I understand the question. You're asking me what I look for in a drag queen.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you said what you look for, which I love. I look for all that, actually. I love diversity, obviously, in queens. I want to see timeless drag, and I want to see girls who wear no tits or hips, honey. I want to see it all.
Sweet. All
So I'm into all types of drag. Honestly, I just want to see you be unapologetic. I think that's the biggest thing about drag. Like, you can apologize when it's necessary or show your kindness and stuff like that. But also, like, drag is about being against the grain and just doing your style, your passion, fashion, all the above.
Amazing.
My big caveat in all of this is you got to have an ability or an appreciation for camp. You have to be able to host something, you have to be able to MC. All the other stuff is good. If you're a look queen, if you look real real feminine, if you all the also in the age of Instagram, there's all these look queens and look girls that serve amazing face. That's great. But if you can't take a microphone and be a little funny and make the audience laugh and host a show, does not a drag queen fully rounded make for me, as an old time Gen X eye for talent type of person.
Yeah, we love timeless drag over here, honey, so I get it. But you know what? Honestly, if you can do both, then you really got me. Yeah, I'm there for it. I love a look too. So you know me as a big girl, I love being fashion, doing the lurks. So I want to see lurks on the runway too. You got to have it all. Honestly, if you're not well-rounded, I mean, it's just about, it's so crazy because drag queens are everything. We're hosts, comedians, singers. You know, now Drag Race girls are like literally musicians and theater actors. And I mean, it's just crazy. And there's a 501 million of them.
Well, and can you imagine? I mean, there was a time where like this was not like a legit industry career. Like this was not.
Yeah.
There's queer people growing up.
How dare you?
World. No, well now, obviously now, but like I know when I was like my young gay self, right? Like I never would have imagined like a career in drag because it just wasn't. It didn't exist, right? Like it just wasn't. It wasn't as fully accepted. It didn't exist. And I think now, even though with the backdrop of American society is still like on fire, we get that. But I do think that's just a temporary passing thing. Drag is a legitimate artistry. It's a legitimate career. It's a legitimate expression. And we're all here for it. We really are all on board. And so I love that it's just become such a thing.
Amazing. All right. So Eureka, I'm going to start with you, just because you have the most experience here in seeing this new bracketed format. All-Star Season 10, we have to bring something new, something special. We've now officially been here for 10 seasons. Does this new format turn you on or off?
I get turned on by a lot of things, but this format is not one. I don't know. It's weird. This whole like just meeting like 5 of the girls. I was just thinking about it with my friends. Is it 5? I think no, 6. How many?
Yeah, 6, but 6.
Yeah. And I'm just like, imagine after this 3-episode bracket, how many episodes we're not going to see any of those girls. And then the 3 that get eliminated, literally we won't see to the last episode. So that's like the equivalent of going home first in a normal season. So I don't know. I think it's different. And this first bracket is kind of meh to me. So I'm just like, there's a few that I'm like, okay, excited about. But after seeing the first 2 episodes, I'm not insanely impressed just yet. So I look forward to seeing more of the brackets, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I think I want to talk about the brackets. So first of all, I want to explain too, my wonderful loving boyfriend has never really grasped into Drag Race. And it's only because he kind of came out later in life and he just wasn't on board when it was the big boom, right? Kind of like me and Sex and the City. Good show. I just wasn't on board from the beginning. Yeah. But like, so I have to kind of secondhand explain like who all these people are in like the dynasty and the kingdom of Drag Race. I have to kind of give like a breakdown of who it all is. And I kind of want to go through everyone for our listeners. I want to kind of go through who is in this first bracket. So we first got Aja, who is a mainstay in the kingdom, in my opinion. Truly, I for 12 years I lived in New York, a lot of it in Brooklyn, so I'm very familiar with like the Bushwick Brooklyn kind of drag thing. And a lot of those girls are mean. They're good, but they're mean. So I love myself a drag queen with an edge, and I'm glad that she's back again. I know sometimes people are like, we've seen her so much. You know what? Whether she wins or not, I'm here for the sass she brings. I'm here for the like cutthroat mouth that comes along, and she's got good, interesting looks that are not always going to be on someone else. You know, that's a Naja look when it's happening.
I'm here to bring you the numbers because I'm a nerd. So Aja has in her 2 seasons 1 challenge win on season 9. She was in 9th place, and All Stars 3 she was in 7th place. So I think what's good about her is that we've seen a little, but not too much. So those are like the numbers. Again, that is not necessarily indicative of what will happen, but I just like to always like throw the numbers in there as well.
Love it. I love a statistician. I didn't even say that.
Yes, we love numbers.
So what do you think of the entrance look? Let's do it.
You know, yeah. I like that it was sparkly and green, but I didn't understand what it was, and I didn't care though.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it, I guess, for what it is. I didn't really understand it either. Aja's style changes so much, and I feel like I don't really understand what her style is right now. You know, last All Stars, like I understood her style. It was very anime. It was very like anime meets ballroom. Now it's like she's so ballroom, plus she's gotten a little thick. So it's like she's trying to wear the same clothes that she once did. I would have loved like a little padding for this look. I think it would have just taken it to another place. Yeah, for me, the body shape is wrong. It's a BMW, body made wrong, mama.
It's that natural thickness that comes from all the estrogen. She's building up.
Yeah. I mean, no, and I'm pro thickness, don't get me wrong, but you know, I'm also about proportionizing. You know me, honey, making the perfect silhouette. Drag is about exaggeration. So if you're going to exaggerate with this huge mask and this updo and all this, why not exaggerate the shape of your body too to be hyper feminized? I mean, that's just my taste.
Agree completely. Oh, all right, we got our girl.
Yeah, who was the next in after her? I forget.
I believe Olivia.
Okay. Let's go to Olivia then.
All right. Our girl, Olivia Lux, is back and blacker than ever, which I love to see always. Let's run some numbers. 2 wins and 5th place on season 13. I actually grew up doing some musical theater with Olivia, pre-Olivia in New Jersey. But I will say this, I think the ballroom scene, the Vogue scene has done wonders for her aesthetic, for the look, for all of it. I think that it has all come back harder and stronger, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, you know, she was an early favorite of mine on her first season. I really think she just lights up a room. She has a smile for days and nights and weeks and months. And she really just has a great sparkling stage presence. And I'm very excited that they brought her back. I love that white studded jacket that they have her in for all the interviews, all the production interviews. Yeah. I'm obsessed with that jacket. If I was a thin person, I would own that jacket. I love it so much. I want to be in that jacket, but my eyes are on her. I think she'll easily pass this round. I think she'll absolutely be in the brackets, past this first round of stuff. I think she's a shoo-in on this.
Are you talking like you've already seen the episode or like you haven't, girl? Because let's be real.
No, I've seen the first 2 episodes that were last night. Yeah. Why do you think she's not a shoo-in?
No, absolutely not. No, poor thing. I think she's sweet. I think she ruined her image that second episode trying to fight with Bosco. She had such a sweet, miscongenial image that was her character shtick. So I feel like it took away this narrative that we know Olivia Lux as, because for some reason she's I think as much as the ballroom scene has fixed her aesthetic, it's probably made her a little bit more defensive. you know, because she's probably had to like really prove her place there. I think, you know, when you go home as like an early out girl, which she actually was very successful on her season, but you know, we're so hard on ourselves. If you're not top 4 or you're not in the top 2, then you're not validated as a drag race girl. It's just annoying, and I hate that for her. But she's such an amazing seamstress. The problem is they haven't done a sewing challenge. If they would have done a sewing challenge for this bracket, I think she would have been a shoe-in. So, which I'm surprised they didn't do a sewing challenge, knowing that they brought her back probably because of all the sewing that she's been doing on social media for the last couple years.
Well, and that kind of leads me to my next thought, which is I know, and let me, this might be jumping around, but Irene the Alien with that rock and roll challenge, I'm certain they must have planned that a little bit production-wise to give her a little bit of boost, because my first impression was like Irene Dubois with the first off from that season. She's coming back for an All-Stars. I didn't even remember her right away. She could have changed her name to Irene the Free Pizza, and I still would not have remembered. Right. But she's really a presence in these first 2 episodes now, and she's come back with something to prove, and she is killing it. So I'm excited for that.
I mean, while we have
she next, yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I think that what Irene showed in episode 1 and 2, I think hot take on this. I think that Irene is in the best position to do well in a competition like this because she's already had the exposure of being on TV, the cameras, the mics. All 3 of us know for time number 1, you're so fish out of water and you don't really know how to do it. But she does not have the experience of like presenting all the skills. We know what Deja can do, what Olivia can do, what Aja can do. But what's amazing is that she still has all of that still unused. And so I think with her coming in, she has a great advantage to do well. But no matter what she does, we're all going to be surprised because she went home almost immediately.
I mean, it was immediately. There was no almost about it. I genuinely, just like from a production person, I'm fascinated with how they like cast an all-star season like this, because it really is a mixed bag of like girls that are like all-stars, you know, that you remember that come back. Then there's like, you know, second tier girls that are like good, but like you might not have thought of them right away, but they were ready to be booked. They didn't have anything else planned, you know. And then there's like these random one-offs that are like stories that are reaching deep into the past of Drag Race. Like season 3, we got Phoenix, you know, that's deep for me. And I've been watching the show since the very first episode, and that still is like so far in my brain that I'm like, whoa, we're going real far. But like, you know, I love a storyline that breathes life back into something. I think both Irene and Phoenix have storylines that make sense for viewers to see them again. There's changes in their dynamic and their story for that makes it now and current. But like, there is a certain like, should we all agree on what the definition of an all-star is? Like, I feel like there's a little bit of like inconsistency with the idea of what that definition is.
Well, I think that's rude and hateful. I think you're a mean, hateful monster of a man. I think they're all stars because they were already on Drag Race. And to be honest, I can tell you exactly why, in my opinion. No, of course, it's always my opinion. But Irene the Alien has been presenting these creative looks on social media and has actually gained a lot of attention and following. So they know that she's going to be a runway queen. On top of, they already know that she has a BFA. They already know that she works in theater and different things like that. So they know what kind of to expect. But the audience has been talking a lot about Irene because of her social media presence.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of know a different insight, I guess, just because like I'm kind of on the end. So it's, but I also like, I mean, 4 seasons later, bitch, I guess I kind of get it. I've worked with these people so much that you can't. Also, I'm a huge fan of Drag Race. Like, I have to be honest, it is my favorite show to watch besides We're Here when it was on. But as far as like current TV, like when it comes to TV with drag in it, I'm watching it. You know, I'm a fan of drag. I love it. That's why I do it. So I'm also like, I look at everything like a crazy fan.
Okay, Eureka, I'm going to tell you why we know that you watch the show and you pay attention to drag, because every time you come back, it's cleaner and better than the last time. And so like, I come to you from like teaching 12 years of middle school English. And I always say when they're like, what's the like key? They're like, what's the key to good teaching? And I was like, to always be a teacher and a student at the same time. And what I love about you is I know that you're looking around and seeing what's there because you never bring back the same thing. You're always growing and learning and evolving. And I think in order to be a good drag queen, you have to study drag. You have to know what other people are doing, whether you love it or hate it. You just have to know kind of what's out there.
Thank you. I also just love reality television. I also love working in TV and film. So it's like once you learn how TV works, I mean, Jeff is obviously a huge contest to this because he works in the background, but obviously you are too. You know, if you once you were a standout on Deal, or what was it called? Sorry.
Deal or No Deal Island.
Deal or No Deal Island. Sorry, I always mispronounce everything. But, you know, you being a standout is because you also understand how reality TV works. You know what I mean? Once you understand how reality TV works and how there's still a storyline, there's still a part of yourself that you have to show vulnerably. You have to be, one, authentic, but also not afraid to go there in reality television. And you have to be a step ahead because at the end of the day, people can only use what you give them. But also, like, again, people can only use what you give them. So if you're not giving them anything, you know, and you kind of have to be smart enough to be predetermined on what's coming. Like, the Phoenix sharing her like sad story at that perfect timing.
Yeah.
You know, it's little things like that that shows me like she's been around since season 3.
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right. We got a question. Oliver, Jeff, do you want to read this one?
Sure. Eureka, do you still talk to Eureka?
Yes, of course. I love Frankie, aka Eureka. But she's been so busy since her sister's on Wicked. You know, she just released her own song. It's incredible. The choreography is amazing. I'm actually doing a show today with her best friend S Titties. So because you know they're besties. But yes, of course, I love Frankie. I love my Eureka, honey.
When I was working on Big Brother, I did Big Brother for 2 seasons before they found out that I was on the Glass House. And then CBS went, you can't work on this. But I was actually one of the writers for Frankie that summer that he was there. And it was a good cast to wrangle. It was a good time. The first time I met him, he asked me to take out the trash in his hotel room, and I obliged, obviously. But then I've interviewed him for the challenge and a bunch of stuff, and but at first I was like, yes, sir.
Not he asked you to take out the trash, bitch. I would have said you take out the fucking trash.
I was just a talent wrangler. I was happy to be there and being paid.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You know, I have a confession to make. One of my dreams is to be on Celebrity Big Brother. I am obsessed with Big Brother. I love reality TV. I love trash reality TV, and I'll call it trash. I don't care. It is trash reality TV, and I'm obsessed with it. So that's what Drag Race is too.
I'm not afraid to say some reality TV is trash. Here's how I market it, though. Here's how I package it to other people. Because a lot of times in my life, people will have valid criticisms about the genre, and I go, hey, you know what? All your criticisms about reality TV are true and valid, and I hear you. But there is something in the cotton candy flavor of some of the shows that is like, it's like a sugar rush for us. You know, it does something in our psyche that is, you can sit comfortably in your living room and watch something unfold that is dramatic, exciting, dangerous, etc. And you don't really have to be involved except to sit and watch it.
I know.
You know, and even though most of the shows I've worked on in my past have meant something, have had a purpose, and it's always good to feel that way, I've also worked on Bad Girls Club. You know, sometimes you have to pay rent. You know, like.
Bro, I love Bad Girls Club is like one of the most iconic moving the world forward in a new generation of a TV show. What do you mean? No, no, but it's not. I say trash like you call your granny a trash. Like I mean it endearing, and full of love. You know what I mean?
Right,
no,
we haven't gone through all these girls yet. Who was the next?
I know, my bad. I just want to do my little like
do your thing.
Drag Race. I love you. I was just kidding when I called you trash. Don't get me. Next thing you know, you'll find me dead too.
Oh no, not that
monster.
Murder on the dance floor.
Murder. Speaking of,
we got to throw up there. I know we haven't talked about Deja yet, or
We got Bosco up right now. She comes to us with 3 wins and top 5 season 14. She was actually eliminated after the Moulin Rouge Rusical, and then she got to stay because of It's Chocolate. She got to stay because of that guy, and so then she actually made it to the finals, top 5. My only thing with her is that I am a firm believer that when a queen is grappling with their gender identity and they come back trans and strong, there's a certain strength and power that comes with them every time that I'm like, yes, yes, yes. It's like they unlock the secret level in like a video game. And I love the fact that she came in so hot and so heavy immediately.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, she's hot. She's like hot. Like, it's easy. Like, look at her. I mean, her body, her face, like, she has had beautiful work done. She's definitely blossomed. I mean, she already had this, like, confidence to begin with, but just like that little extra dose. Yeah. It looks, and the proportions drag. It's not just like, oh, I'm trans and I'm doing drag and I'm trying to pass. She looks beautiful and passing and whatever else you want to describe it as, but she's still taking it to that exaggerate, like, that collar, lapel, the shoulders, the hair, it's so exaggerated. And then with this tie, it's camp. It's everything that Jeffrey was talking about earlier.
Well, she's another shoe-in for me. And maybe point-wise, I think you do have a point about Olivia downgrading herself with that fight. But I think Bosco's great. She was great in the first season. I loved her then. I'm loving her even more now. I'm not a titty man, but I might become one off of this season based on this. I do think there is something interesting about that fight that Bosco and Olivia got in. And it's something that I recognize production-wise that might be kind of a new thing. And I'd be interested in hearing both of your opinions on this, is when there is some sort of crazy fight, like an organic, real thing that happens. I like this new idea of, hey, let's make sure you guys apologize to each other on camera, because then we can, what that does is it gives the audience permission to whichever side you're on that fight to move past it and forgive that other person. I think we saw that 3 times last season with Anya Nerve. There was, Anya Nerve versus Jules, Anya Nerve versus Lexi. There was a third one I forget too. But every time they apologized on camera, it let the audience know, hey, both of these people aren't monsters. Please don't send them death threats on Twitter. Like we can all calm down. It was a fight. You might have had a side and someone was probably right and someone was probably wrong, and that's okay. And let's keep it moving. I think that's actually a really great tool that is being used now. And I think it just makes for a happier experience all around, even though I do love the fights, let the fights fly, but I think it's a good recovery system.
Yeah, I do think it's just a nice safety net for production, so that they're not like having fingers pointed that they're doing these girls some type of injustice. I think it's a good way for them to clean up any sharp edges, which is very considerate.
So Jeff, now that you've had some time to kind of watch my show a little bit, just to give you like some insider information on this exact point, episode 6, 7, Harvey and I from Survivor went like head to head and screaming and yelling and so on and so forth, and World War III, but they showed the argument. We went back later that evening. I circled back around and I was like, hey, listen, my head's been all the way around this morning. Can we talk normally? We had a full conversation and hugged it out, and they didn't air the resolution. And so everyone's still like, do you and her still hate each other? Are you so far? I was like, no, we resolved it that day. But because they don't air the resolution, I'm with you that it really does help sculpt what the audience believes as like who is right or wrong. They like take that to the end, and you're like, it was resolved that like afternoon, but okay, sure.
I mean because I think when Anya and Lexi got into that fight last season about the spray painting of the coat or whatever, the reaction from Anya to me was so bonkers that I was like, she could easily have become the villainess of the season over that fight. But I think because they structured this like apology tour. I think it really cleared the air. And I think that's just a microcosm of what we should be doing just in society in general, especially amongst our queer community for each other. We should be giving each other second chances and allowing people to apologize and move forward and giving that space to do that. And I think that is a very subtle but noticeable thing that's happening to me between last season and this season now.
Agreed.
We got Deja Sky, 1 win, the epic worst snatch game ever known to Snatch Games. She won that as Lil Jon, and 6th place season 14. The entrance look, the stars, for me, it was giving Party City decoration, but like, what are your views? Like, my views don't mean anything, but like, what are yours?
Well, I'll tell you, here's where she got the stars from. She got the stars from her 6th grade teacher's like little art supply closet, where she kind of rummaged around in there. She moved the glitter over. She got the crepe paper for the bulletin board. She moved that in there, and then she grabbed there was a whole thing. She had to untangle them though, and put them on her dress because they had been in there for so long. You know, I like Deja Sky. I think she's very nice. She great personality. I don't love the drag. It drives me crazy. That orange thing she was wearing in that I think the murder on the dance floor. I don't know. I like that she's there. I like the conversation she brings. I like, this story about going down to Mexico to drop a bunch of weight in a crazy fast surgery way is an important take that I think a lot of big girls need to hear and consider. And I say that as a very confident big girl myself. I think that's a very important thing to kind of have in the ether of the talk. But I think she's there for personality. I think she's just there for us to like her and to enjoy her presence. I don't think she's a shoo-in my book on this.
Yeah, she's definitely a positive energy. I think her smile is great. I think her makeup is really beautiful. As far as her fashion style aesthetic, it's not my favorite. I think she's trying to figure her new body out for sure. But she's definitely feeling these bare legs. I mean, Mama's got a set of legs on her, honey. She got some hams. So I'm here for it. I think the Bouncy Stars is she's trying to be. It's so funny because Deja is almost she gives me I call them calculated clowns. So she's such a calculated funny girl. And it's the vibe that I got from Ginger Minge for several seasons until she started, kind of getting a little bit more authentic. And it's that comedic timing that's pre-planned. Every joke is planned ahead of time. So it just doesn't hit the same way, or it comes off a little cringe at times. And this is one of those moments where she was like, I'm here to shoot for the stars. And then as her entrance line, and it's and here's the stars, and they're bouncing. And, so it's one of those things for me when it comes to Deja. But her makeup, I have to say, it always looks so airbrushed. Her makeup is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And our girl Phoenix. All right. She comes to us with 0 wins, 0 top placements, and 12th place from season 3. I think that my personal view on this is I love to see when the old queens come back, but it's hard because I think when they come back, the performances that they give are always an upgrade from what they brought initially. But is it an upgrade for where the show is right now versus the show that they competed on once upon a whenever? And so the issue for me is I think Phoenix brings amazing work, but I don't know if it's as competitive as we would need it to be just from where the Drag Race franchise is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you waiting on me to respond?
Oh, I was because I had jumped in. Eureka, here's what happened. But we'll get to Phillip's question. So I feel like the last 2 times he talked, I talked first, and I didn't want to stumble over you or railroad. I felt like I was.
Oh no, I got into a rhythm with it. I was feeling the rhythm, and I was like, he talk, you talk, I talk.
I was like,
yeah.
But okay, so back to Phillip's question. Here's the thing. I do like that there's, not only were these people different drag queens in these deeper seasons in the past, the show was different. right? Like, not only have they evolved as drag performers in however long, the show is very different from then to now. So I do think there's absolutely room for storylines like this. And I'd actually, just in my own thoughts, I'm curious, like, what other storylines are out there that didn't quite make the cut, or maybe not this season, maybe next time, because there might be some stuff percolating that is important, you know. And I do not think that she's going to pass this first round of whatever it is we're working on, but I'm glad she's here and is plugging her, you know, event business, and you know, a little shout out to Atlanta, and you know, that's great, but like, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, right? I think that she's been in the scene this whole time. She has given girls jobs time and time again. So she is at the top of the I am thinking of this person list, which I think is where it comes from. Plus, they do need a story arc and a storyline. And regardless, this is a transitional change from her season because she was so young and just not polished and advanced in her drag. At the end of the day, this drag is definitely way more advanced than the drag she was presenting on season 3.
Yeah.
Do I think that her drag presenting on season 3 would go better now? Maybe, because she was a little bit more of like that skinny twink trying to give like fashion. And now she's like given seasoned Atlanta drag. So I think that the difference is that you know, we're just so used to this drag race aesthetic of really young, skinny drag queens. And so anything that's not giving us that, if it's not like wow, below my mind, it's like not what we're used to. And it's like, oh, maybe they're not up to par. But no, it's just different drag. She just does a different style of drag. Do I think she could walk a little faster? Maybe. Give me a little more energy? Yes. But that's just her personality. Like Phoenix literally does this, like when she does her shows, she's super chill, but she's, you know, she is a fun girl. I can see how coming from season 3 can get in your head. You can feel overwhelmed for all the reasons that I just said, you know?
It's a new game, it's new lights, it's new sound, it's new people on stage, it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
But she also created a career, excuse me, she created a career from going home first, like what, 15 years ago. So she knows she is setting fat and chilling because she knows just being on and being reintroduced is going to give her at least the same momentum that she had before. So it's nothing that she's not used to if she was to go home first, you know? So in a way, I can see that as like, really, you know, an upper hand.
I mean,
It's at least emotionally.
At the end of the day, screen time is screen time, you know, and it helps you no matter how long you're on whatever episode of, you know.
And that sweet story people are going to relate with. I think that was really smart, and it was really, it was a beautiful story. It was the part that had me crying. People are going to love her for it, so she's going to get her initial gigs. People are going to know who she is.
Sweet. So we officially enter the workroom. Let me consult my notes. All right. New tournament format. Just in case you are just joining us or you have not watched the show, so on and so forth. This season includes a bracket style competition with 18 queens divided into 3 groups of 6. Each group competes in its own bracket of 3 episodes. Then we move on to semi-finals and then the finals. They will be scored based on points. So instead of eliminations, they will be accumulating 2 points for winning the challenge. Lip sync winner gets another one, and then there are additional points given out by the bottom queens. So our first maxi challenge is this rock and roll kind of grungy heavy metal girl group challenge. Eureka, I have a question for you. Do you show up, because if it were me, I would. Do you show up with like a verse or 2 kind of written for like a song or a rap or something? Because I feel like it'll happen either way.
What'd you say?
Do you like show up with lyrics or like things in your head that you are like, I'm gonna have to write something eventually?
I think so. I mean, I think if you're smart enough and you're planning it, tactfully, like for All Stars 6, I had some kind of pre-written that I had worked on before coming. Just things that I had like the idea of, like I had I had thought about it for years on like if I made it to the top, what I would do for my finale look and my performance look and all that. So I had that look made ahead of time, stuff like that before I even knew I was on the show, because I was like, I want this to be no matter what the category is, I'm putting in my verse, no Marie Antoinette's, no, it's basically talking about the class system and stuff like that, which was annoying because it was a country song, but I made it work. I didn't give a shit. But that's so it just depends, I guess, on who you are. I'm a calculated clown too, so
All right, Jeff, what are your views on alliances? Because we jump in here and we start talking about the Emu, I want to say, from the House of Mugler, and we are really discussing the idea of, do you need alliances to do well in All Stars, Jeff?
Yes, you do. And here's the thing. So Drag Race has been kind of edging towards like, they want there to be alliances. The production wants them to be a little shady. They're giving them a tool that will force an alliance. Because what happens now that, Drag Race has been on for so long, people know that if you act too crazy, you're going to have fans yelling at you and blah, 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 blah. And there's going to be all kinds of drama and la, 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 la. So there's this very big sort of, everyone's aware, like, hey, we're still making a TV show. So at the end of the day, let's be a little nice, right? And I think, giving this tool, this mechanic to have these points means that you're just going to be forced to not be nice somehow. You can be nice all you want for however long it takes, but like eventually push comes to shove and you're going to have to give the points to somebody and you're going to have to pick a reason why. And it's not always going to be who's the best person and the most deserving. It's going to be who's going to get you further down the line. And I think that's great. That's just part of reality TV game show. That's game show 101 is you have to be able to stir the pot a little bit with all of that. So I like how that's going. I like how it's panning out. I like that the challenge came and went. The winners won their thing, and I think those were both very deserving. Aja and Irene were my two favorites of that challenge, and so I'm glad they got their points that way. And then it was fun to watch the other girls give out their points. It was the nice way for now, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, yes. So let's just talk about some quick moments in the workroom. We had Deja Sky talking to Mamaru about her weight loss surgery. I actually, as a fitness professional, really loved hearing the other end of this, because when asked, do you regret it? She said, yeah, I do. And I feel like you never hear that enough. And I think that there really are kind of just a lot of people that might feel that way, of being like, do your research. I went to Mexico. I almost died there. So like, I don't necessarily suggest it. And I feel like whether you're influenced by it or not, you at least need to hear that like that point of view also exists. And then we had a small argument with Aja and Irene, which like, I love the fact that like we can have arguments and it not be like relationship ending. Like no one is doing anything too insulting. It's just entertainment for just like us as an audience,
That back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with Irene. To me, when you can spar like that with someone, it is an act of love. I like my best friend and I, who will probably listen to this podcast, by the way, Cody in New Mexico. How are you? But like, we roast each other on the daily, y'all. Like we really are just so bad to each other. Strangers would hear us in passing and be like, oh my God, that's so mean. It's love. It's our language of love. So I like that this is an Aja Irene thing that's happening. I see it as a through line. They're also both big contenders. So I like that it's going to be around for a while. I like the energy of it.
My favorite friendships are those friendships. And I think that's just us in queer community. But they say people that slander each other have more honest, communicative, relationships. So you can tell Aja lives for the fact that Irene is not afraid to be honest. And if it was me, to be honest, I would rather sit beside a bitch that's going to tell me exactly what they think of my makeup versus next to somebody who's going to lie to me like they did on season 9. And I was there. These people, these people really did be like, "Oh, girl, you aren't turning it," and I was like, "Oh." And I got shaded. Everybody thought I was a mean girl because I'm very, I get Irene because she's honest and Kiki. I come from the South. Like, that's just how we are. You know what I mean? We're honest. We fuck with you. We fuck with each other. Luckily, that culture is starting to like, people know it and recognize it more now, like, and really celebrate it. Because in the early of like season 9, season 10 of the fan base getting so mainstream, people were just like, "Oh my god, they're so mean," you know?
Agree completely. All right, hitting the end of episode 1. Let's talk runways. Our theme, slits and tits, I want to say. Let's get that. Never thought I'd be saying that out loud. Slits and tits. Okay, here we go. Asma, what are your views on the look? I mean, again, I had all the same views as judges, that maybe the arm should be the same color as the rest of her. But like, as far as I'm concerned, that to me gives a rookie mistake, but I don't know.
I mean, I didn't like this. I like her a lot, but I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
That's what I
No, I was saying, I feel the same thing. I don't like it. I think the tits are too small. I think it's weird. Like, it's just not a flattering way to show the breasts. The split is awkward. The tights make her legs look wooden. The arms do not match. The hair don't make no sense. The eyebrows need to be extended. They're way too short and stumpy. Like, the hair she wears later that cuts her face differently makes that makeup look good, but this does not.
Next.
Nope, don't want it. A work of art.
Love.
Okay, first of all, Jesus. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'll just ramble. I'm sorry. I love the looks moment. I love critiquing people's looks because it's my favorite part of drag is like putting a look together from head to toe. This bitch slayed the game on this one. I'm sorry. That hair alone is everything. That hair is everything. The only thing that could have given it to me even more is if that zipper line came into the look somehow from her hair. Like, that's what was unzipping the split. That would have been, but I mean, there's no way to say, oh, that would make this next level because this is already next level.
I mean, the tech behind this is just unreal to me. I mean, this is where drag really impresses me, is stuff like this.
Yeah, very much so. Speaking of impressed, okay, I hated all of this. I'm sorry, I just didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I really like her.
Oh yeah, totally.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do at all.
I don't know. I'm never impressed by what she's wearing. I'm not a makeup person, so I don't know makeup very well. And I do agree her face is always great. But I just always am kind of like, I don't know. It feels like a storybook character, a fairy tale character that just isn't fully realized to me. I don't know.
It's Fiona, for sure.
Yes.
It's full on Fiona before midnight. Bitch.
I think that when you're looking at like a look, you should be able to know what the assignment is. And so in looking at this and knowing that the assignment is like tits and slits, it doesn't work for me. I think it's a beautiful dress. It works for her, I guess, but it doesn't for me necessarily work for what we needed for this week when, again, you're in episode 1, but it's already kind of down to the final 6, if you will. So you need to elevate and bring way more than you normally would.
Yeah, the split's in a weird position. It's in the fact that we can't see that it's a split in the photo just tells you that already. Yeah, I think the boobs definitely needed to be a lot bigger. I love a princess sleeve if it's done right, but when you do it, this is called a princess sleeve, by the way. This style of sleeve, like the
Mhm.
balloon sleeve, it's a princess sleeve, and when it's done right, it can be really flattering and really cool. But it's too long, so these sleeves have been made too long so they just hit funny. They're a little droopy. It's just not it.
Fair.
Stunning. Love. Obsessed.
Yes, like absolutely obsessed. Beautiful work. I love the fact that it's also asymmetrical as well. I think it gives you a lot to look at. Super interesting.
It's beautiful. Her tits need to be a different color. I mean, it didn't have. I mean, the color change always gets me, but the micro rhinestone mesh arms and legs, I really loved that detail. I think I would have just rathered these boobs maybe had it over it so the color detail could have matched. You would have still seen these big giant boobs. But I mean, honestly, it's very Cher. Let's be real. This is gorgeous, very Bob Mackie.
Totally.
Still alien ass, so the aesthetic is there. I think it's very well done. Her makeup is also really beautiful to be green.
Vegas showgirl from Mars. I love.
Very that tea.
All right, and we got two more left. We are waiting on Olivia and Phoenix. I actually really loved Olivia's look. I love a pop culture reference, but I think Olivia did it the correct way. We saw it on season 17 a couple times where people did a pop culture reference, but they just like recreated the same exact look as it was. I love the fact that we knew that it was the Little Kim Video Music Award look, and it would have been very easy to just wear that jumpsuit again. It pretty much was drag already. But the sheer fact that we elevated it, pushed it, made it something new, I loved it.
Same. I think it's great. Great color on her. I think she sparkled in it. And it is a great example of taking something that people already know in like pop culture and making it your own. I thought it was a solid A work.
Yeah, I think it's beautifully done. She's well executed this. I think she made it herself, which is even more impressive. I think that she is a very, very talented seamstress. Love the hair. I just love any kind of 90s inspired hair because I love the like up wispy with the little pieces coming down. I just think it's so girly and prissy, but still edgy. That's what I love, that 90s fashion. So the head is beautiful. I again, her and Aja both are driving me crazy with these short little ant eyebrows. Bitch, I just want to take a pencil and extend them out. Just so they finish to the eyebrow, because you're too pretty to be like these weird little caterpillars.
I'm going to notice that every time now.
Right? I
You
can't
are.
see anything else. Oh, speaking of, I can't see anything else. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all start with this one because I was not as in love with it as I wanted to be.
I mean, it's something different, and I was interested and engaged, and I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know if it's a winning look for me. It's a twisted sort of bedroom, kind of sexy thing, and I appreciate it. I like it.
This picture is unfair. This picture is unfair, and you're hateful. This picture does not give this outfit justice at all. When she first turned the corner, I actually was like, wow. So this was like one of those pageant moments where like the first impression, if that's where I was judging this whole look, she could have gotten a good score. Because when she first turned the corner, it's just not something I expected from her. I loved the unzipped split moment. I think it was a different take. I loved when she unzipped the breasts before she pulled them all the way out, the way it looked. If she would have left it just unzipped and just like the nipple showed, it would have kept this together. I think that she's making some decisions that are a little amateurish, and she's just not amateur. You can tell that her nerves are just, she's doing anything she can to get a giggle out of RuPaul. because for whatever reason we've convinced ourselves the only way RuPaul will like you is if she laughs at you.
Yeah.
And sometimes she's laughing for the wrong reason.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay, cool. So that's going to bring us out of here. We're coming back. All right, cool. So that is all of our runway looks. We do get our top two, Aja and Irene, doing their lip sync to Ice Spice. As a whole, I actually enjoyed the lip sync. The only thing that I did not enjoy was the wig on Aja's head. Speaking of, in Shrek, when they get to Hulak, how they're all wearing the same yellow Party City wig, it was giving me that I was just like, nope, not it. But like, other than that, I was a fan.
Mama, you just read Aja all the way to the ground. I thought she looked pretty.
I mean, their finale was great and all, but I really loved Bosco versus Irene at the end of episode 2. I thought they both were amazing, but I want to go through life and have one of those little twirly things that Bosco was using. What are those called, Eureka? Are those called a thing? Those like wavy arm things? Oh, Eureka's done.
On strike, over.
We're coming up on the hour. We're done. We got it.
So we're okay. So what we're going to ultimately, we do have a winner of the lip sync. Aja eats her up just because, like, it's hip hop, it's rap, it's Vogue, it's ballroom. She brought us all the ethnic things that we would ask her to. And so I think it was a really amazing performance for her. And that wraps up all of our breakdown for episode 1. We will be right back with episode 2. But in the meantime, please stay, comment, do all the things. Hit us up on Instagram. You can hit me up on TikTok. Send me like an email, a fax, whatever it is. Comment. Keep it going. Jeff, anything to close up episode number 1?
No. I thought we were very thorough. Oh yes, there we go. We could say.
Okay, sorry.
That's
You're
okay.
just in time to sign off on episode number 1. All right, cool. Eureka, thank you so much for joining us for episode number 1. We're gonna go right into episode number 2. But in the meantime, everyone, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Reality After Show. Please continue to like, follow, subscribe, and comment in the meantime. Appreciate who you were, celebrate who you are, and motivate who you are going to be. Have an amazing day.
Thank you, Eureka.
Bye, house.